How has resilience, because we've been talking about a lot about resilience, how has that played a role in your faith when overcoming and persevering something like that while still building a business?
So yes, I am a cancer survivor. Come October, fingers crossed, I will be 1 year clean of, 1 year of good scans. So praying for that and thankful for God for that, keeping me in good health and keeping me here. But when it came to the business, I would say that chemo takes a lot of your physical strength away. Chemo every other week for, I want to say 6 months maybe. Then radiation and follow that, which was every single day. Yeah, I would just say losing my physical strength more than my mental strength, and using my mental strength to continue to push forward and not, have any excuses. Just to be able to show up for my customers and my clients and stuff.
God told me to start this podcast, and then he told me to call you. The time is now. You ready?
I got you, T. Let's do it.
Welcome to yet another week of the Mental Locker Room Podcast. Y'all already know what the deal is. It's your boy, Dr. C, and I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Tish Johnson. Tish, how you doing this afternoon?
Blessed, man. Blessed. This is the first time actually filming in the new studio in the office. And so I'm just grateful for the platform God has gifted us with to bring in these guests, like the special one that we have today, man. So it's truly honored to be able to do his work, man, for sure.
A+1, man. So blessed to be
you
able to
doing,
do this.
C?
I can't complain, man. I'm doing good, but something is bothering me, and I want to get to put it out right now. What's bothering me is I love that y'all rocking with us, but YouTube told me a lot of y'all watching the video and you ain't hit that subscribe button. I need you to go ahead and do that. And while you're there, you can go ahead and hit like on this video as well, and then you could also subscribe on Spotify, Apple Music. Keep showing us love, man. We're building the brand. It's real brolic, but we just right now we need you to not just be a watcher. Go ahead and hit them buttons, hit all of them, and let us know just how much you love us and help the channel grow so that we can reach some other people, right? We love the casuals and the regulars. We want some other folks to get some of this good stuff that God has blessed us to be able to put out to the universe. So again, 70% is a big number, former teacher. So trust me, we don't want that as far as who isn't subscribed. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Make sure that you're watching the video all the way through. And now that the housekeeping is out of the way and I've gotten that off my chest, I feel so much better. I want to make sure that our guest gets the intro that everyone else has gotten. All right, so let me get myself ready. So today, ladies, gents, and non-binary conforming folks, we have a leader whose story spans the hardwood, heart, and hustle. Lauren Smith began by helping relaunch the women's basketball program at Young Harris College in 2010, and she led the team as a 4-year starter and captain. She finished her career as the program's all-time leader in assists, steals, and free throws, and is in second in both career points and field goals made. Her leadership helped lift the program to a best 23-win season, and she earned a place in the Young Harris Sports Hall of Fame in 2021. We got a Hall of Famer here, y'all. But off the court, Lauren also transitioned into education and advocacy. She earned a master's degree in special education and taught while also assisting as a graduate coach. Today, she channels that mentorship as a program coordinator with Trio Upward Bound, alumni, shout out Trio, guiding first-generation low-income students toward college access and opportunity. And then that ain't even it, y'all. She also really creative. She started LDT Customs. Lauren transforms speakers into storytelling vehicles, meaningfully painted to reflect legacy, identity, and purpose. It's where her instincts for leadership, design, discipline, and student empowerment all come together, one pair at a time. Lauren, welcome to the Mental Locker Room. We're so excited to explore how your resilience on the court and your dedication to your students have shaped everything you do. How you doing this Sunday?
I'm good, Dr. C. How you doing? What's up, Teach? How y'all doing? I appreciate y'all giving me the opportunity to be on this wonderful platform that y'all have created. I'm glad to hear that it's growing. I'm definitely tuned in, and I know this will go places beyond y'all imagination. So shout out to y'all for sure.
Receive it. I receive it. How you doing, Lo? How you doing, Lo?
Good. I'm good on this good Sunday.
That's what I'm talking about. For the viewers, the listeners, those that do not know, Lo and I, we were actually competitors. We were opponents at the collegiate level. We played in the same league, and so we had many of battles. So usually things like this don't happen. God be working on me.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
yeah, so it's major love, major respect. So
Always.
Lo,
Yep,
thank you again for joining us in the locker
definitely.
room. I want to take it back real quick
Oh.
to those playing days. I want to see if you remember this. So, see, I'm talking about, yeah, we used to be going at it. Because all I know is my job to guard the best player on the floor, shut them down, stop them from scoring. Whatever their average is, I got to keep them below their average. And the points that they do score make it very difficult for them to score those points, right? So there was this low them. They actually were new to the league,
Yeah.
right? So they couldn't even compete for, the playoffs, none of that in their first year when they first got in the league. So I remember this particular play. It was just like a welcome to the league moment.
We was at Flagler. We was at Flagler. Okay. Okay.
We were at the crib. I don't know what it was about us, but we could not lose at home. We struggled on the road, but coming to this house, like, we were getting it. So your coach, like, and Lowe's a baller, right? So of course she's the best player on the floor, so I have to guard her. So her coach is like telling her, do this, boom, 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 get to the rack. And so I'm listening. I'm listening, and all I hear is, shit, ain't nothing. What I'm thinking, she ain't about to do that.
Yeah.
So, so she comes down, she's trying to make the move or whatever. Boom, shut it down. I think I end up getting a steal or whatever. And so the very next play on the other end of the court, I go down and I do what her coach just told her to do. Boom,
Literally.
get a bucket. Get a bucket.
Literally.
So, see, the next stop and play, she's over talking to her coach. So, what do? I go over there while they
Right over
talking.
there.
Look
I
here,
remember this.
I'm listening, and then I say, Coach, that's what you wanted her to do.
I remember
I,
this. Yeah.
I say, not today, Coach.
Yeah.
You gotta put somebody else in.
Hey, Tiff was weighing me down, man. She was weighing me down. Yeah.
Hey, because if I can get in the
Yeah.
head, because look, but at the same time, I'm trying to get the coach to second guess, the game. But if I can actually get her to take Low out of the game, like, that's a win too.
Yeah, you got an easy day.
She wasn't coming out of that game.
Nah, I think
She
did I
wasn't coming
found
out of that
out?
game.
I think I might have found out that game.
Yeah.
I think I
you had
found out.
Yeah, till you could, till you
The locker
absolutely
room talk
had to
went,
come out.
yeah, the locker room talk went nice when I got in there. So I remember that.
Yeah, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, you were killing it, man. Y'all came in the league and just were killing it. It was like almost a blessing that first year that y'all couldn't, go and compete for a championship or anything like that. It's a tough league.
It
We were the
was.
only. Shout out to the Peach Belt. We were the only team out of Florida in the league. So everybody else was Georgia, Carolinas, Alabama at the time because Montevallo was still in the league. So,
Montevallo.
yeah.
Who
it
was
a
down there by
tough
y'all?
league.
Armstrong. Armstrong was the next one closest down there. Y'all.
Yep. Yeah. So y'all would come and play.
So we
Y'all would
played
go
both
like
of y'all
a
at the
road
same
trip.
time.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Good days,
so
man.
Good days. So again, glad you are here, and we are here with a Hall of Famer, man.
I'm about to say, bro, you was talking about, I hope she get out the game. I'm like, yeah, you was guarding the Hall of Fame. I want her out here too.
Yeah, we gotta get out.
I need her up out of here.
She got to get up
Nah,
out of here, man.
yeah,
Hey,
she locked
somebody
me
else,
down.
get somebody else to do
Get
it. Get
get
somebody else to do
somebody
it.
else to do it. For real.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. When she went off, she went off. Now, when she went off, she
Nah,
went off. So
don't
again,
let Teach minimize her ability. Nah, she could hoop. She defense was her thing, but she could hoop too. She was hard to
yeah,
stop when she got going. So
yeah, yeah. And I remember like Lo. I think it was after we graduated. Um, Lo messaged me and just out of major respect and was like, "Man, you were killing it." Cause I think you were asking like if I was gonna keep playing or whatever, but I went into
mm-hmm.
coaching, which made sense for me, and just out of respect. And so ever since then, for our audience, we've been locked in, from a distance,
Mm-hmm.
just loving on each other and all the things that each of us have been able to build up. So man, it's good to see what you're doing out here.
Oh, yeah, you too. Appreciate it.
So tell me, man, at what point did you discover that you had creative gifts? That may have inspired Lo did that LDT Customs.
So I've always been like a doodler, like in
Mm,
class, like taking notes, but my mind might wander, so I'm just doodling on the paper. Like my notes will have so many like random drawings, objects on there just from me, like just doodling. So, my brother he can draw,
mm,
and my mom she was kind of on the creative side too. She did like events and stuff like decorations and stuff like that, but neither of
okay.
which they like fully committed to it. I can't tell you the last time my brother picked up a pencil, but I'm pretty sure he still got it. The same thing for my mom's. But when I first like, for me it was during COVID. A lot of downtime. We was working from home, and one day I have Air Forces galore. Like I should have thrown them away because I don't wear them no more. But one day I just picked it up and I had some Sharpies and I was just like doodling on them. Like normally what I would do on the paper, I just did it on the shoe, and I was like, oh, this look kind of dope. But I only had like 3 colors, so it really didn't bring it to life like I wanted to. So I got a little money up, and I was like, let me just try some paint. So next paycheck came around, ordered a little paint kit from Angelus, and literally this been all she wrote since then. I dove into it. So that's how LDT Custom got started.
Wow. It's so crazy, man. I was just watching something either yesterday or the day before, and they were talking about the very things that, sometimes like we would get in trouble,
Mm-hmm.
naturally in class, the things that we would get in trouble for, those are the things that, are the very
I
same
get.
things that will propel us
Uh-huh.
forward in terms of our gift
Uh-huh.
and our talent. So you may have, just been doodling on the paper, but that was just natural. That's what came to you. And then, like you said, just start drawing on the shoes and realizing the gift and the talent that you had inside of you. So that's pretty crazy. And you brought up your mom too. It looks like you guys have done some work together.
Yeah, we done collaborated on a couple things. She do have a business. It was her and my dad's. And they had a t-shirt making business. So, a lot of recently was the little trend with the graduating seniors with the graduating class number and stuff on there. So we collabed on my little cousin outfit. She did the shirt and the skirt for her. Then I painted some jeans for her. So I do some clothes every now and then. It's not my favorite, but I do some clothes every now and then. So me and my mama, yeah, we'll tag team on some stuff. We
Yeah,
will.
no, that I think that's pretty awesome, man. Because
Yeah.
sometimes like our parents want so much for us, right?
Mhm.
And then it's very seldom that you get to work with them on some things unless they're already in business and you end up going into
Mhm.
that particular business or whatever. So
My
that's
mama be working behind the scenes for me because
yeah,
she do my stencils. So,
okay, okay, yeah,
so when I
Put him to
get some
work.
designs that like a lot of detail that I'm like, okay, I need a little help with this. I have to help her, like, hey, can you do me a stencil? Like, if it's a logo of a high school, like, I don't know nothing about, she'll do a stencil for me. You know, so she do a lot of behind the scenes for me, for real. We
Yeah,
for real
yeah.
business partners, but, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I told my mom. I said, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and retire you so you can work for me. I said, you gotta be my
Nah,
CFO. Come handle
I
this
know
money.
it. Mm-hmm.
Look,
Definitely.
we gonna hey, come take care of this. And she said,
Definitely.
yeah, she talking about, yeah, I got you, but don't be surprised you come in the office and I'm taking a nap.
Yeah, it's
I need my
okay.
nap because I'm
It's
working hard.
it's
Hey,
okay. That's okay.
a little self care in the middle of the day, man. Shout out to all the mamas. Shout out to
Oh
all the
yeah,
mamas.
y'all
Yes,
made the
yeah.
world go round for sure.
Mm.
I love also that the pursuit of your passion came out of COVID, man. I felt like COVID had like that's when I went and got my doctor because I was like,
Yeah,
what else
wait a
am I
minute.
doing? What else am I doing? Like all this
Too much
time, my
time. Too much time. COVID was a crazy time. COVID was a crazy.
All right, that's when I
but we
got my
can't
master's. Just bored.
Yeah.
like exactly just doing stuff.
Oh, this is pretty
Just
cool.
cause you could. COVID was.
It's so funny too. Like one of the professors I had at that time, he was telling me to start a podcast. Then I mean, I ain't got time for
Yeah.
that. Here
And I
we are.
came full circle. Yeah.
Here we
Full
are.
circle.
Yeah, go
Can't
ahead.
run from me calling. You can't run from me calling.
Can't
It's
run
Look,
hey,
from it.
man, you can, but it's persistent. It's
Yeah.
gonna come get
It's gonna come get
you.
knock knock knock.
you.
You ready?
Yeah, I love that the fact that you come from an entrepreneur family, right? Like that seems to be like the Smith bag of we gonna work for us and try to do the things that we are passionate about. And when we get in entrepreneurship, one thing that I've learned from jumping in head first with Tish is that entrepreneurs have someone usually in the beginning who saw the vision. Who was that for you that saw your vision, and what did they support mean for you in the early days of LDT?
I'm not gonna say it's one particular person. I say I come from a small community, small town. Everybody know each other by name. If you don't know each other, you know of the person. And I posted my first pair of kicks to Facebook. Like the shares went crazy. You know, of course I sent it to my mom. Like, hey, she like, those look good. You know, whatever. So I just posted it out there because the person had already bought the shoe. It was a finished product that I've put out there. So everybody was like real supportive. Everybody's like, okay, you done unlocked something. You got something going. So that just fueled me right there. So pretty much my community, my area where I'm from, like I said, small town. Shout out to Madison County. You know, we just everybody supportive. Everybody, look out for each other, support each other. So that's how I would say collectively a community for sure. But I did send the pictures to my mama first though. I sent the pictures to my mom first.
Every time.
Hey,
Yeah.
I love that. That community, like, it's one of the things that I feel like we get back to slowly but surely. Right. I'm from a small town too. Shout out Avon Park again. Back to back podcast. Shout out to little Avon Park.
Yeah.
In Highlands County. And so that's a good thing, right? And I think that kind of also speaks to the longevity of it, is that you didn't have one person you was leaning on, because everybody was in lockstep. That unity kind of makes the vision actualize a little bit quicker. I want to take us back though. I want to take us back before LDT Customs. When you was just hooping, right? You helped build that women's program at Young Harris College back, right? And you was there for 4 years, and you was the leader and two big stats, right? Assists and steals, right? I'm gonna let my team eat, and I'm gonna get
Yeah.
us the ball back so that I can
Yeah.
keep letting my team eat,
Yeah.
right? So the folk. I watch a little ESPN Smith and them be talking, and they call that the assist and steals a connector stat, right? How
Yeah.
does using those same skills of connecting show up when you translate a client story into a pair of kicks?
So we talking in terms of, assist and steals, like that's the connected part of the game, like you were saying, like connecting my teammates, knowing they're gonna be in the right place at the right time so we can create this perfect shot or this perfect play or execute it very well. So just paying attention to those details, and being able to transfer that from basketball over into my creativeness with, paying attention to detail. Like, I feel like I'm a perfectionist and everything has to be like pleasing to my eye. Like, I know I gotta, make sure the customer get what they want, but I need to make sure it look good too, cause my name on it. You know what I'm saying? So like in basketball, I was just like, okay, this the play, this where you supposed to go. But if you ain't there on time, but I'm already passing the ball, it's gonna be a turnover on me. So I'm just that's the correlation. It's just making those connections, reading the room. It's just making sure that I execute, get the job done at the end of the day.
There's just a question for you, because that'd be me. I'm a perfectionist. See, look, you see him over there cheesing. Hey, I am, and I know. I'm be honest. Like sometimes, like it can get in the way. Of wanting everything to be perfect when it never is gonna be. And like even like the smallest things we will notice because we have the eye for it, and when we want to put the very best thing out there. But it's like sometimes can be so small that
Yeah.
nobody else would even
Nobody.
recognize it except us. So it's just
Yeah.
like get that thing out of there. Do you ever feel like you're in that place? Like do you ever put something out there, it's great, you feel like you look at it afterwards like, dang, I could have maybe did that a little bit better, but you like it was pleasing to the person, to the customer that you gave it to.
Yes, absolutely. I will. It probably happens more times than it doesn't, just because,
Mm,
like, I know, like, this what the customer said, and a lot of them come to me and they give me like certain things that they want. Okay, I want my name, I want my birthday, I wanted to say this, I wanted to say that, but you can
yeah.
freestyle the rest, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, yeah. So you just want words on there? They like, nah, okay. I'm like, so give me some colors, like what? Like, help me. And that's what the connection is. So I'm trying to build that connection so they can I can help them get out their head what they trying to tell me. So
Yeah.
it definitely happens more times than it doesn't. But it's like this what they wanted, because I see something I could
Yeah.
have added to it, and no one would have
Yeah.
made it perfect in my eyes, but that ain't what they wanted. So I got better. I got better at that. Like this what they
Yeah.
want. So and a lot of times when I be doing it, I don't see it, the vision coming. Even though we talked about it, I just be paying, airbrushing. I'm like, I don't see it. I don't see it coming together. But
Yeah.
it all come together at the end. So
Yeah.
I definitely
Not
have
that.
had those moments though. Definitely
Good. It's good to know I'm not out here alone.
have. I think it's a blessing and a curse, man. I think
For
it's a
sure.
blessing and a
Oh,
curse.
for sure. For sure.
Cause
Because,
it's
yeah,
like
you're not just going to just put
putting out it,
anything out there.
yeah. But it's a
Yeah.
pressure on me, it's they
Yeah.
don't need to necessarily be there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I feel that. I feel that. So, I mean, of course, us as ballers back in the day, like for you, is, when we're playing, is watching film to prepare for the opponent for the game, putting in the reps to get better. Like, so now, how did you go from, scouting reports and things like that to sketchbook? Like, how do you go from inspiration to execution in this artistic space that you're in now? And, did that level of being an athlete, and that level of preparation, did that prepare you for, what it is in your process now?
Definitely. It's a lot of carryover again. I think it just goes back to those connections. So in basketball, when we watching film, you watching the whole game, but you also get told who you about to guard this game. So you watching the specifics and the details of that player. So it comes back on the creative side. Like again, my customers telling me what they want. But I'm also paying attention to the small details they say in there, because they might say something and they'll be like, you know what, I don't think I want that. But then I feel like if you said it, that means you want it on there. So, I try and figure out how I can incorporate it. And then when I give them the shoe, they like, I know I said I ain't want that on there, but how you? And I'm like, I just was listening. We had that conversation. You brought it up. It meant something to you. You didn't think it might have went with the flow of the shoe, but I made it work. So just being able to carry those things over into this business helped a lot. I spend a lot of time in basketball committing to that. So I don't try and do nothing less than the business venture related.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so important, man. Like you said, somebody said something, at some point, and it
yeah,
was in their thought, it was in their
uh,
process, it was on their heart. You want it, but they are now second guessing what they actually
uh,
want. But it's like, if I surprise them with this thing and I can still incorporate it somehow,
for sure.
it can make them feel special. Yeah, I don't know, cause you tell me you don't want it, I'm hey.
I ain't
Yeah.
gonna give it to
I
you.
was,
I ain't gonna, because that's what you said. Not only you
Yeah.
got
I
me
don't know.
curious. Is there any like can you give us a little anecdote, a story of somebody who came up and they was
Um,
like, hey, don't put this on my shoe, and then you gave it to them. They were like, hey, actually, this hard.
Let me see recent shoes. So I guess recently I had somebody. It was one of my mom's friends. She turned 50, so she sent me. She was like, I want to get a pair of shoes. I want to go with this blazer. So she sent me the blazer. There's a whole bunch of neon colors in. I was like, okay. She was like, but I want to say number 50 on there too. I was
Yeah.
like, okay. Then she was like, and it's 90s, 80s theme. Yeah, I'm like, okay. So my brain turned, and I'm like, at 50 ain't gonna look good on it. Cause my mind already got like a visual. Once you told me like 90s, 80s thing. So I went with like the abstract look and stuff. So I did not end up putting the 50 on there. And she was like, I could see, what you were saying. Cause I ended up
Yeah.
painting the majority of the shoe. If the shoe would have been mostly white, I could have made something work. But I ended up painting the majority of the shoe, and I went with some abstract shapes and stuff, but, from the 90s and stuff. So she was like, I see what you were saying. Because in our communication, I was like, I don't know if that 50 gonna look right. But I had already, like I said, came up with a theme of what I wanted to go with. And she told me to freestyle it. So when they tell me to freestyle it, I'm happy. And at the same time, I'm just like, okay, because what I like, you might not like. I did end up putting the 50 on there, but she ended up liking the shoe. And I'm like, it can be versatile, so you can wear them and you don't have nobody being like, why you got 50 on there? And you turn
Yeah.
55 now, you turn, so it worked out though. It worked out, so she enjoyed it.
No, that's good. Yes, because sometimes we gotta talk people out of stuff, because
Yes.
sometimes they come to you for a reason to
Mm-hmm.
create something for them, so you know what's gonna
Mm-hmm.
look good, what's not gonna really flow the way that is
Yep.
they want it to flow. So it's like,
Yeah.
listen to the expert. Like you're the expert for a reason. So
For
yeah,
sure.
no, that's amazing. So I mean, I know for us, just going from athletes to entrepreneurship, there's a lot of things, the way those worlds definitely collide. So for us, like when we're on the court, whether it's the shot clock winding down, or we on the free throw line, the pressure is there because
Mm-hmm.
we got to make this shot or whatever, and you got to execute, in the last minute. For you in entrepreneurship, have you seen some of those moments as well, where maybe it's somebody wants this design at the last minute, you got to rush the order, or anything like that, where you had to make a quick decision, whether it was shipping issue, whatever it was. And
Yes.
how did you get through that moment? What did it teach you?
So I feel like that in all of my rush orders I get.
Mm,
So most of the time I be done talk to these people and they'll reach out to me in an ample amount of time for me to get it done. But then, you give me a price, you get them out, whatever, and they're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna get back with you. And so
yeah.
then I don't hear from them until it's almost the time for the date for when they previously hit me up. And I'm like, okay, I gotta rush this, and that's like, it's fine, it's fine. So it's just putting that peer pressure on me, like shot clock situation, what time winding down. The margin is slim, and I'm really just having to go off my instincts. And the shipping isn't usually the issue. It's just that small margin, that small time frame that they're like, okay, I know I want them, but
Yeah.
I get the job done. Make it decision making at its finest in that moment. So, just try to make the vision come true on the shoe. Luckily, most of the
Yeah.
times it's not a lot for me to do. And I do
Mm,
communicate that if it's something detailed and I'm like, I can't make myself do that. I'm gonna be mad at the product that I put out because I know I need,
yeah.
So my turnaround time typically is 3 to 4 weeks. That's what I give myself
Okay.
because I still do have a 9 to 5. I still work. I'm back in school, so but I still
Praise God.
give a month max for me to get your shoe order done. So anything before that is considered a rush order to me. So
Okay. Yeah.
just the shot clock situation and rush order situation kind of go hand in hand with,
Yeah.
we're gonna make this goal. What we doing? So I
Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
I
Eh,
always
eh,
follow through.
Yeah, have you ever had to tell somebody like what you're asking me to do? Like, I'm not gonna be able
Oh
to
yeah.
execute that. Like, like sometimes the
Oh
coach
yeah.
will call a play,
Uh-huh.
but
I don't
then
see
we
that,
seeing something
coach.
totally
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we running
Yeah.
it.
For sure. That's an area I've actually gotten better in because I felt like early on I just needed to get orders so I can get my business out there, get my work out there. And early on I'm self-taught, everything self-taught, so still learning about certain material I gotta go in the paint to thin it out to make it thick. So early on it was just, I was just worried about the orders and not the final product of it. So I've gotten better at that and just communicating. Like, I'm not gonna be able to do that for you. Like, we can scale it down, so I can say we can scale it down to this, and I can get it to you.
Yeah,
But I'm not gonna tell nobody I can't do what you want to do. I can do it. It just ain't. I can't do it in this small amount of time. It
of
just ain't.
time.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that's something I've actually gotten better at. Is since in 5 years. So yeah.
I mean, how often does that happen? Like, just in life in general, like that's a whole skill of learning to say no and being able to pivot, and being able to
Yes.
communicate that thing. Like,
Uh,
this
Still
is not
learning
what it
that.
is, right? So yeah, yeah,
Still learning that
it's
in
definitely
life.
it's definitely
For
a
sure.
skill. Because sometimes like we could, sometimes like things that people can relate to, like you ain't supposed to be in a certain relationship with somebody, like it,
Mm-hmm.
they abusive in some way or something like that, and you
Staying
want
longer
to
than you
leave.
need to.
You want
Right.
to leave, but
Hey,
you try not to hurt them, like.
been there, done that.
Don't know
Uh-uh.
how that conversation.
Uh-uh.
So yeah. So man, yeah, I got you. Yeah,
Knows a full
Definitely.
sentence. And Shonda Rhimes
Mm.
got a dope book.
Yeah.
Folks is trying to season the no.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I tell people no, and I smile now, so they know I meant it.
I
Yeah,
need
no,
to
Oh
get
yeah,
there.
it's,
I need to get
no.
there.
hey, we could talk. I'll tell you how to say
Yeah,
it.
for
I'll tell you
sure.
exactly how to say it.
Lo, you said something that was so
Nope.
dope though that
What's up?
it's not even in our the questions that we cooked up, but like I gotta go there, right? You say you taught us, like being a self-taught anything isn't easy, but you a self-taught artist. So how are you picking up? How are you picking up new skills and what did you do to move from doodling to being able to create your custom kicks?
So went from Sharpies to paint, and then I went through my stage of what paint to use. I got the paint from Angela's brand, but that was a little pricey at the time. It was COVID, times was hard, so I was like, I can't spend money on this paint because it was legit the acrylic paint like people use. So I'm going to Walmart, cheap paint and stuff, and just figuring out like, okay, you got to put money into your business in order for it to thrive. Just like you got to do anything else, like you got to water it if you want it to grow. So um, I just tried to, every paycheck, every other paycheck at that time, like buy 2 or 3 things of paint, just to add to the collection and stuff. And learning from YouTube. YouTube people is customization is really big on the West Coast. So I was looking at a lot of YouTubers out there. Angelis actually would like put videos and stuff on their website of people like going through a whole shoe customization process. So I'm taking those right down. Like, okay, this is what you need to thin out the paint, because if you're using an airbrush, your paint can't be too thick, or it's not gonna go through the nozzle and feed. So you got to put thinner in there. So they got stuff like scratch resistant, so it just make your custom last a little longer, so the paint won't chip as hard. So yeah, just figuring all that out and listening to them videos, rewinding and going back 500 times, trying to make sure I wrote the right thing down so I can go and buy it. So yeah, self-taught, everything, brick by brick, for sure.
That is 3 shows in a row. Y'all somebody said something about writing stuff down. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. I ain't saying, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
In that vein of what you had to learn, I know, Tisha. I know you
I
might
be
look
trying to
this
tell
might
them.
pay attention.
Low, I be trying. No takers are money
Yeah.
makers.
Yeah.
Listen, it ain't coming. Listen, I got some of the best coaches in the world. If they said it, and they did it,
You know,
I'm
they say if you
coachable.
ain't write it down, it ain't happen.
It
Trying
ain't
to tell
happen.
you,
It
it
ain't
ain't
Yeah.
happening.
happen. And man, you write things down, it make it so real.
hmm
So
And
real.
I remember that I wrote something. I'd be like, I know I wrote something down,
It's
and then
somewhere, yeah.
park it.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
it in my
So,
notes, yeah.
yeah, I
So
gotta
yeah,
take notes. I got to.
yeah.
So you was telling us how you had to learn, right? The things you learned, and then shout out YouTube University. Good videos out there if you want to learn some stuff. But sometimes we also got to go through a period of unlearning, right? So when we on the court, we on the field, we build micro resilience, right? You got to recover from that turnover. You turn the ball over, you can't sit there with your head down. We got to get down. We got to get down the flow. Next play mentality, right? Making sure that while you at the free throw line for these 2 points that y'all need, and the people in the stands calling you everything but your name, you still got to make this shot. What were some of the specific habits that you had on the court to move past the bad play that you found transferred over when you were running plays for LDT Customs and they didn't go the way that you wanted?
That a turnover is not the end of a basketball game. Coming from a point guard position, you know, that's the stats I look for after the game. Like, okay, when my turnover to, ratio or whatever. Knowing that a turnover ain't the end of the game, especially if it's small, you can go back and make up for it. So carrying it over to, LDT Customs. When I started out, I used tape to, line the places on the shoe that I didn't want to, paint or
Like a
get paint
house.
on.
Like if you paint a house.
hmm
Gotcha.
So, I felt like after a couple of pairs, I was like, I don't need no tape, or I got a rush order, so I'm trying to get through stuff and, getting paint on the parts I ain't want to get the paint on, and, so just learning that mistakes are going to happen. When we in that basketball mindset and we the general on the court and our coach just told us to do something, we want to do it to the T. Hindsight 2020, the coach like, you're not going to make every play, but and we know that too in playing the game, but it's just that, we want to win. We want to execute. And so we try and be as perfect as we can. And so in the shoe business, like I want to put out the best customs you see. I want to put out the best designs. And I know somebody, ain't going to like it, but there's somebody out there that will. And I know I'm going to mess up a couple times. It's been a couple times I done messed up and I had to go spend my own money on some shoes that, I messed up. And it just goes back to putting that pressure on myself too, with the shot clock winding down, trying to get a bucket. That's why I give my window that 3 to 4 weeks now. I learned early on that trying to say I can get you 2 in a weekend or two is just not doable
Yeah.
with, my 9 to 5 life, so just making sure I don't put myself under that kind of pressure, even on a rush order, If I can't do it, if it's too detailed, I'm not going to do it. If you just want me to put some words on there or something, then cool, we can make that work. But, so yeah, I would say that's how transfer carry over.
I like that. Like this really sounds like you. The big thing that you kept with you as you was unlearning was that next play mentality, right? Like, oh, I
Figuring
messed up
out.
this shoe.
Yeah.
Let me go buy another one. I
Yeah.
don't want it, but this is what I got to do to get this over. Or, oh, I want it to be the quick turnaround person. Week or two. Like, nah, that ain't gonna work for me though.
Ain't gonna work.
So, and being able to adjust, I think, is a big thing, especially that we did a lot of, right, with a little help in college. And now when you're an entrepreneur, it's like you got to make your adjustments, coach.
Yep.
Yeah.
You run the plays. You got to figure out what the defense trying to do to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure it's probably been some times where you messed up on a certain part, but you like, hey, that's kind of fire though.
Yeah, I left it a couple times, incorporated something, but most times I'm like, dang, well, I should have put the tape on that this time. I feel like my hand way more steady than it was when I started out, where, when I used to get them rush orders in early and I was just worried about, money and get my workout done. I had to learn, you gotta go back to the basics, so I should have taken it up, whatever.
Fundamentals.
Yep, the fundamentals.
No, fundamentals. Yeah, I'm going that gym, trying to start at the 3-point line, knowing you need to go form shoot.
Yeah, I need a form shoot. I need about 20 shots on the form shoot. Yeah. And I still do that to this day. If I go in the gym and I just pick up a ball, I go right up under the hoop, form shoot.
Yeah,
or I do anything. So
I be form shooting around the house all day.
yeah.
It's in you. It's in you.
Definitely is.
I love that you've given us also the beautiful thing about this your journey so far is you let folks know that it ain't about being perfect, right? Because so often, especially in our society right now, folks on social media see the final product. They see people put together, and they don't see what it took to put them people together, what it took to lay down them bricks, right?
Yeah.
So we don't like our listeners may not know about everything that goes into your customs, the ordering of the materials, the shoes. Sometimes if somebody's paying for you to get the shoes, right? What's something about running LDT Customs that folks would never guess unless they were in your shoes? Yes, y'all, I'm a dad. That was a dad pun. Sorry.
Um,
What? We need a button. Boo.
Tomato, 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 tomato.
tomatoes. Nah, for real. I would just say a lot of my job happens, before a single drop of paint hits the shoe. So, the connection with the client. So I'm making sure that what they communicated to me, I understand what they want to be on the shoe. So they just back and forth communication is taking time. Making sure I had the right materials. Some custom, they might want fabric. I got to go to Hobby Lobby or somewhere to go pick up the fabric. They ain't got it at one store. I got to go to another store. So, the possibility of chasing down different fabric that the customer might want that is not in one store, so having to go to multiple stores. Making sure I got color paint. I run out of paint frequently, often. So, just making sure I have all because you'd be surprised the different names of paints. You have a pink category, but it's like 15 pinks.
Yeah.
I always get them couple of customers that like, I want this exact color, I want the color of this. So it's like going to find a needle in a haystack, man. So, just, doing all the background work, making sure I got the right paint, the right fabric, making sure I got the tape I need, just all the behind the scenes logistics and stuff, all the way down to the shipping. Most of the time, my people are local or around me. My mom is still back and forth between where we are now and the country and Athens. So she'll take some orders for me down there and her route down there. But everything happens behind the scenes. Literally, once I start painting the shoe, like that's just me executing everything. But everything happens before I even touch the shoe. I already know what the shoe look like. So
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out how to make whatever they told me come to life on the shoe. So
God is so good, man. He know who to use and how to use them and what gifts and talents to give them. Cause you talking
absolutely.
and the whole time I'm overthinking like, dang, what if the person colorblind and we see two different colors? They ain't
Yeah,
never gonna get the shoe.
yeah, never gonna get it.
Dang, if they colorblind and they doing my shoe, I might see something different than they see.
Yeah.
Now I'm mad because he's saying blue, I'm saying green. Nah. Yeah, yeah, he knew not to bless me with that talent.
Yo, I be records. They gotta tell me everything. They gotta tell me everything. For real.
Oh man. But yeah, I want to go a little bit deeper.
Okay.
There are a lot of people that are in our audience that may not know this, right? And you've been very transparent about a certain battle that you have faced, and that's your battle with cancer. How has resilience, because we've been talking about a lot about resilience, how has that played a role in your faith, in overcoming and persevering something like that while still building a business?
So yes, I am a cancer survivor. Come October, the fingers crossed, I will be 1 year clean of 1 year of good scans. So praying for
Praise
that
God.
and thankful for God for that. Keeping me in good health and keeping me here. But when it came to the business, I would say that chemo takes a lot of your physical strength away. Chemo every other week for I want to say 6 months maybe. And then radiation followed that, which was every single day. Yeah, I would just say losing my physical strength more than my mental strength, and using my mental strength to continue to push forward and not, have any excuses. And just to be able to show up for, my customers and my clients and stuff. I never thought during that time that I was going to take a break or, not take any orders. I never made, that type of announcement. Like I said, a small town, everybody know each other. So I think because I did make the announcement that, I was diagnosed with cancer, I was going through chemo, that a lot of people didn't reach out for orders during that time. I did have, a couple orders, and I'm grateful for those orders because it kept me busy, it kept me occupied. I think during that time, people just, knew what I was dealing with and knew what I was going through and didn't want to put
Be a
what
burden.
they would have thought extra stress. And, for me, it would have been therapeutic. It would have got me up out of bed. It just would have kept me going. So, just being able to tough it out. And again, finding ways to adapt in a situation that I was definitely not ready for. And just breaking, those orders that I did get into like smaller pieces. So I don't think I really put a time limit on those orders that came in because they was like, whenever you feeling your best or whenever, whatever. So I appreciate that part. Just people being considerate in those regards. But just being able to in those moments where I still wanted to be creative and still, bring stuff to life for my clients, just being able to break those orders into, smaller pieces, working during the windows where I had energy, and just giving my body grace, giving myself grace where I needed to rest. And I think that, easily reflects in basketball, you get tired, like, you put in the work so much and I never questioned if, basketball was for me, but I knew it was for me, but, you need to rest, and you gotta listen to your body.
Yeah.
Definitely. And my faith also, kept me strong, kept me steady. On those days where I felt uncertain, supportive. My friends, my close friends were supportive. People from a distance were supportive, reaching out. My girlfriend was very supportive. So, just being able to have that kind of support around me, having my own mental strength to push through when, my physical strength wouldn't let me. And it would hit me days after chemo. So I would have chemo on Tuesday, but I wouldn't feel it till Friday. So Tuesday through Thursday, I'm feeling 100%. But on that Friday, then my weekends were in the house because I ain't had no energy. I really couldn't do nothing. So, just having that faith, God gave me a test, and I just trusted Him to be able to handle that and get me through it. Yeah, so I didn't close LDT Customs during that time, just to make it known. It was still very up and operating. It might have been with some slow motion, but it still got it done in the midst of everything. So
Yeah.
Slow
You,
motion better than no motion.
yeah,
always,
yeah.
always.
You said you felt like God gave you a test. What do you? I mean, in those moments, because it's just so hard to see, especially with something like that, right?
Hmm.
Where I truly believe like he uses all things, for good and to get the glory out of, whatever it is. In some situations we put ourselves in, but this is something that, you know, obviously you didn't ask for this, right? You didn't just make a mistake and fall into it. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? What do you feel like, you know, what did you learn from that situation that maybe God was trying to pull out of you or teach you or, or make you realize in these moments?
Um, I would definitely say to put myself first.
Mm,
Um, I'm a people pleaser. I'm a natural giver. And I just show up for my people. Any way I can, anytime I can. Um, and I think at that moment in my life, I had some people around me that wasn't, giving reciprocity in those areas. I felt like I was,
mm,
putting out in the friendships and the relationships, whatever the case may be, and not getting that back. And not just in those moments, I can, think about stuff that happened prior where, I should have put myself first or I should have stepped back from a situation and analyzed it
mm,
and realized that it was draining me. Um, So yeah, I feel like God was like just telling me like put yourself first, choose you, support who supports you. So not necessarily like
Yes.
choose me and leave everybody else out. It was like still choose you, but choose those people that also are constantly showing up and constantly supporting you, and that you're doing the same for them. You know, it's two sided, it's not just one sided. So. And it brought out a lot of true colors,
True. Yeah.
transparent moment in that time. I had a best friend who just didn't show up for me, like, and we saw each other like every weekend, every couple of days, I would say, and it was like nothing. And it was they wanted the situation to be about them. I wasn't forthcoming with certain information. This is after I done had the surgery. This is after I'm healing. It's like you didn't tell me this, you didn't tell me that. It's just like I didn't have to ask everybody else to call me or
Yeah.
check on me. Like they concerned, they family, they my friends. Like,
Yeah.
they want to know what's going on. So, I'm talking about like roll right past my house after surgery, then stop, nothing. So and then it turned it into, well, you didn't tell me this, or I'm like, okay. So that was a hard friendship to cut off, but
Yeah.
it needed to be done. So, and this is, I mean, we had ample conversations. This was a point
Yeah.
where I was working on my communication too, where as far as telling people how they made me feel, if it left me feeling bad or sad or whatever the case may be. So I felt like I did my part in that, like, spoke on it when it happened. I saw it initially and then nothing changed. So, it's channel that energy I was trying to get out of that friendship and put it, into people who was already showing up and I ain't had to question them. So,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Man, it's so crazy. Like, situations like that are, definitely harder to deal with. God is either going, some people going to fall off, or it's going to
mm-hmm.
bring people together. Maybe, broken relationships or broken families, like some situations like that, they bring people together. And then
Yeah.
like you said, sometimes it's on that other side where is people around you that don't need to be around you and they fall off. And so,
Mm-hmm.
man, it is so beautiful how he really does work all things together for good. But we'll definitely, I know I will be praying for you.
I appreciate that
And I'm hoping that he gets the glory in all of it, and that you
every time.
everything continues to show up clear.
Yes, yes.
Um, and you keep on, you keep pushing, you keep building, you keep inspiring through it all. And so yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. What message do you hope that the resilience that you showed, what message do you hope that it sends for people that are facing their own battles in life? They're getting ready to walk, in their own shoes, lace them up, and
Mm-hmm.
walk those miles and whatever they're facing. What message do you hope that it sends to those people?
Stay faithful. Hey, go back to your foundation, your beliefs and what you believe in, and how to, get through anything that you are going through. Not the battle, the size of the battle, but, the size of the victory at the end of
Yeah,
it. You don't have to feel 100% every day. I know I didn't feel 100% every day. But just showing up, if that's all you can give, then, just make sure you show up and take it one step at a time. And don't quit. I tell everybody, I ain't no quitter. You know what I'm saying? I think that might have been the tweet you commented on. I was talking about like giving up, the business and stuff. I'm like, I ain't no quitter, but it gets tough. So,
yeah,
whether your court or your field, whatever sport you playing or whatever you're going through in life, um, the game already chose you. You just gotta lace up, man, and you keep pushing, keep going, and keep God at the center of everything, and everything will work out right.
absolutely, absolutely. See,
And I gotta let that breathe for a minute, T. Yeah, that
yeah,
was
man,
that was
that's
that was you
yeah,
dropped gems right in the
yeah,
midst of what would have been a situation to break a lot of people. You came out stronger,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Mhm.
You came out more faithful, right?
Absolutely.
And I think that itself is a lesson as well.
yeah. And you said grace, grace.
Hmm.
Gotta give yourself grace.
Got to.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard for me. That was very hard for me to do because I show up for my people, So when those times came, and it just happened to be a week I had chemo, and then everybody want me to come out, me wanted me to be like, yeah, I could
Yeah.
come. But my body, like, you just sat through
Yeah.
5, 6, 7 hours of chemo. You can't do nothing.
Yeah.
So, I'm like, okay, just giving myself those grace, because I don't want, it was me, like, I don't want nobody to think I wouldn't show up for them if I could, so,
Yeah.
just being able to, recognize that people do understand. Like, everybody don't not understand. People do understand. So,
Yeah. And you said it perfectly. Like, oftentimes we forget, but we have to choose ourselves. That was a big part of why I even changed my basketball number. Right, I changed it from 23 to 2. And
okay,
the 2 for me represents God's first, and I'm second.
absolutely.
And everything else will take care of itself from there. So family, your friends, whatever ministry you're in, all of that stuff comes. But if you don't have God at the top and you ain't taking care of you, nothing else works. So yeah, yeah. So everybody around me, I make sure they get the overflow.
Yeah,
My cup gonna be
yeah.
full.
You got to
Y'all
keep
getting the
full.
overflow.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I believe you taught a young ragamuffin that same lesson in 2015 under your tutelage. Like, a young man, I think that I remember having that same conversation with you when I was going through some stuff at home. And you was like, "Hey, man, I knew everybody else grown." That was kicking me. Hey, everybody else grown.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
you gotta handle your business, man. And I think that's hard when we played sports in the ways that we did, right? Y'all were two point guards.
yeah.
You looking for the assists, not point
yeah,
guards
I'm
looking for the
serving.
shot.
yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
but back when y'all playing, we was still Chris Paul getting 20, 30 assists a game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all want to give it up, and then play safety, strong safety at that, right? So I got to
yeah,
know everybody on his job. I got to know where
Mm-hmm.
everybody supposed to be, so I can get people there.
The
And now
general.
we don't got to look
Yeah,
out for nobody no more. And we like, hey, but that's what I want to do. That's what I'm good
yeah,
at doing.
yeah.
Got to look out for me, right?
Absolutely.
In that vein of talking about, thinking about you and how you like to make sure that you serving others as well. Lo, I looked at your custom designs, man, and the one thing that really stood out to me, they don't just look good; they mean something.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a revelation. Oh man, she ain't just stenciling and just putting paint on shoes. The shoes represented family legacies. Some of your clothes that you do are people's personal journeys, and sometimes you do whole brands. How do you balance the personal side of your work with the business side, especially as your name and the demand for your work keeps growing?
Um, I would say there is no business side without the personal side. Making those connections, that's where it all starts out with, learning somebody's story, understanding, what they trying to tell me and what they want on the shoe. Sometimes it's a lot of emotion behind it. I've done memorial customs and put people whose loved ones have, went on to transition, and just making sure that they have what they had in their mind for me to, bring to life on the shoe. And just putting it into something they can translate and, feel proud about and feel proud wearing it. And so, yeah, I feel like there would be no business side without the personal side. And I feel like that's like the heartbeat of LDT Customs. And I'll stand on that no matter how busy I get, no matter how big I get. Like, you got to make these connections with these people in order for you to carry out their order and what they want on the shoe. Um, as far as the business side and incorporated with the basketball, putting systems in place, timelines, and just making sure everything, is where it's supposed to be, and those timelines are met, and that the customer gets the overall business experience, and that they come back. That's all I want them to do is come back. So,
yeah.
Love
That's
that.
the
Hey, there's no
that's the
business
ultimate
without system.
compliment.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Come back.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah,
Right?
yeah, yeah. When they double back
Mhm.
between that and a referral, oh
Yeah.
man, you
One or the
got
other.
something.
One or the other. For sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. So Lo, obviously, like you mentioned it a little bit earlier, a post that really touched my heart. And it's like, nah, yeah, she ain't stopping. so so sometimes, we have in business, we have those thoughts of self-doubt sometimes that kind of creep in. Can you just kind of talk about maybe that moment or even another moment where you question, like, is this really gonna work? Should I continue to pursue this? Like, and at this point, like, what has kept you going?
Um, so early on, when I started the business and stuff, and started getting, orders in, and was kind of looking at the data of everything, like what was my input and my output. If we talking basketball in terms of wins and losses, early on, and quite frankly, honestly, right now, like I would be technically losing, in terms of how much money I put into my business because it's fully funded by me. I don't operate on no grant. I don't operate on no loan. I've tried, not to say that I haven't tried, but
Yeah,
the business got to keep going.
yeah,
So, just making sure that I just keep going. Like, it really be those times where I made a tweet that day, and I think the next day I got like 2 orders in.
yeah,
I'm like, okay, this is funny, like, whatever the case may be. I think
yeah,
it crossed my mind maybe like a month ago, and boom, I got like 3 orders of cleats that came in. So it be little signs like that where God be listening to me, after I vent to him and stuff. 'Cause, this economy and keep funding the business out your own paycheck. It's tight,
yeah,
man. It's tight out here. So, it it be battle of, do I put this toward my business or do I do something for myself?
yeah,
The bills gonna get taken care of. I ain't worried about that, but I feel like we don't live to pay bills. Like we should always do something for ourselves.
absolutely.
Just in some moments, choosing the business over myself to, get to where I want to go.
Yeah, yeah. And I believe, like, if God wants us to do something and he's using us to build it and advance his kingdom, he's gonna provide.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not to say, like, you're gonna have moments where all you have is your faith. And so, and you may feel like giving up, and then he reminds you when he sends you those 2 orders, like, you have me. You don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
nothing else. You just keep doing what I'm asking you to do, what I'm calling you to, and I will provide. He reminds us so often that he's the ultimate provider. He is a miracle worker and a way maker. And I think sometimes we forget that. We forget who he is
Yes.
and and what he's already done for us.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you think back, it's like his track record is good.
It's
God's
good.
resume,
Boy, we
God,
tripping. Yeah.
he
Yeah.
show up every
Every
time,
time.
and it may, like, this may sound cliche, like he doesn't always come when we want him. Like it, like he's gonna test you, like
Yeah.
how far, like how real, how far is your faith, or is it
Mm-hmm.
something that's transactional? Are you only leaning on me with your because you got your hand out? You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And when it is that way, when we don't get what it is that we
Mm-hmm.
want, and then we ain't talking to him, or we do get what we want, and that's the only time we
It's the
talk to
only
him.
time. Yeah.
He
Don't
gotta
worry
he
like
gotta
that.
remind us.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, man. Somebody hears that and picks that up, where
Yeah.
just to keep going. Like, don't give up. Keep moving and understand where your blessings really do come from, and always remember your why in those moments too. And keep pouring into the work that you're doing, because it's somebody on the other side of that. There's a customer, a consumer on the other side that is counting on you not to give
Yep.
up.
Yep.
Right.
Uh,
Definitely.
yeah, and you were bold too, like running and building a business during a pandemic of shoes that people probably, we all in the house, we can't even go
Can't
nowhere to
even
wear the shoe.
wear. Can't even wear the shoes. Yeah.
Like, how
Yeah.
bold is that? That is it. When it doesn't make sense, that's how I know it's from God.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
That's how I know.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man, keep going, Lo. Somebody gonna see this and bless you, like,
Appreciate it.
yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah. And thinking about the times where it was uncertainty, right? Where it was a little self doubt. I want to kind of shift it and talk about the other side of it. When did you know that this side hustle and this passion project, I'm putting in quotations, it may not have been any of that at any point, but when did you know that this was going to be a real business with a real impact?
Probably after I got about a handful of people reach out to me like, hey, I got a referral from so and so, I got a referral from so and so, and it was just like word of mouth, just getting out, getting out, getting out. And I was like, okay, so I was just trying to step back and be like, all right, how can I? That was me having to learn the business structure part of it. So I was like, okay, if they gave me this order first, so do I have to finish their shoe first? They tell me they need it by this day. So just trying to figure out the logistics and stuff behind it. But yeah, when those referrals start coming in, and I was like, okay, I was like, can I do all this? Can I handle all this? Because it started out with like 1 or 2 pair of shoes, and then the referrals just started coming. So yeah, I think that's when I realized it. And then being able to complete those referrals in the, time frame that they needed them to, and getting the feedback, and then getting more referrals from them, just letting the work speak for itself. That's when I realized.
I love that because that like I think T said a couple minutes ago, like that's the purest form of love, right?
Mm-hmm.
That y'all love my work so much that you gonna speak my name in rooms I'm not
Yeah,
in, and
I'm
have
not
people come
even
find
in.
me,
Yes,
right? Have
yes.
people come find me.
Uh-huh.
That's big, and I think that speaks to brick by brick, like you said, brick by brick, referral by referral, shoe by shoe. That's the
Yeah.
work, right? That's the ad. That's the billboard,
Yep.
right? And that is much. That does more for our confidence as we build the business
Mm-hmm.
than let me pay for these YouTube ads, let me pay for these IG ads, and
Yeah.
spam 100 people that don't know if
Mm-hmm.
my product is good. Like, no, let me do good work, right? I'm a firm believer that if you do good work, the product gonna speak
The
for
product
itself.
gonna speak. Yep.
Stop trying to sell people stuff that ain't good. Let people see the
Yep.
stuff that's good and then decide
Yeah.
they want to buy it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And with everything that came into the business becoming a reality for you, and then the just life that you had to push through, clearly this is bigger than just a business for you, and that's the same for most entrepreneurs and definitely for us athletes, right? The game wasn't just the game. I can't speak for y'all, but for
Mm-hmm.
me, I used to be out there arguing, be unsportsmanlike, and coach was
Yeah.
always confused on why I'm out there chirping at people because this ain't
Yeah.
no game. This ain't just no game to me,
Mm-hmm.
right? This
Mm-hmm.
bigger than that. This is me. This is I got a bigger why. What do you want people to feel or remember about your business when they buy a pair of custom sneaks? What is the legacy that you want to build?
LDT Customs gonna give you what you want every time. No second guessing. You can bring whatever you want to bring to life on the shoe. I can get it done for you. I can get it done. I'm gonna listen to you. I'm gonna hear you out. I'm gonna give you suggestions. But whatever you need to find a product is gonna be what you need it to be every time. Every time.
And you do any shoes? I see, like you do a lot of forces and stuff like that. You do any
Yeah.
shoe,
I can do any leather shoe. Any leather
any
shoe.
leather shoe.
I can do canvas shoes too. I done did Vans and stuff. Any shoe, honestly. Any
Okay,
shoe.
okay, yeah. You know, sometimes like having a commodity product, it can be hard to scale, where like you're doing the work, right? So you could hire other artists on, to
Mm-hmm.
come and do it and see, and have a brand, or, or say, okay, this is how the designs, like, this is how, like, Lo did that. Like, so when you come in, it need to look like Lo did that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you could do that. Whatever it is, there's so many ways that we can scale different businesses, but in something like this, it can be a little bit harder to scale. So like, what's your plan? What's next for LDT Customs?
So right now I'm working on, getting a website. I've just noticed, and looking for funding opportunities and stuff like that. Like people want businesses that have websites.
Yep.
My business is a lot of word of mouth and referrals. I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok. I'm not the biggest content creator, so I be falling behind on that. But getting a website out there so customers can just go there and tell me everything that they need on their website, and then they come to me. And I would say also, getting funding. Like I said, I funded my business by myself since 2020, and just being able to get the inventory I need as far as shoe inventory. So right now the customer either has the shoe already and gets it to me, or they pay me. I add their reimbursement price back into the custom price, and they pay me back for getting the shoe. So just being able to readily have those shoes on hand, cut down, my turnaround time, and going from store to store, trying to get certain sizes, just securing funding to be able to get everything I need to expand my business. Possibly thinking about start doing like murals and stuff, and like nurseries and people's homes and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm trying to scale it out there and still do shoes, but I feel like I can create on a larger scale. So just trying to get all those pieces and details in place.
Praise God. Praise God.
Yeah.
That's gonna be that's gonna be amazing. And like I said, it's somebody's gonna see this. They're gonna see your work, and you're gonna get exactly what it is that you need. God is gonna getting ready to bless you in a major way. So receive it.
I receive it. I receive it.
Receive it. Receive it. And when he does, man, steward it well, nourish that thing, and just keep going. Do not play small with this.
Oh yeah,
Do not play small with it.
appreciate that.
And the first step, and I think in God building this abundance and passing out to you is connecting you with folks. So while we have you here and we have people's ear, where can our audience connect with you on social media? And most importantly, where can they purchase the LDT Custom Design?
So y'all can follow me on Instagram. It's _LD as in dog T Customs _ and then on Instagram, TikTok, it's just LDT Customs. And my Facebook, it's just my personal Facebook. I don't have no business Facebook, but you can search Low Smith and you can see all my, designs and stuff and recent past orders that I've done on my page. So if you're looking to get some inspiration or, just take a look, see. You can hit me on all three of them.
Right, so that's TikTok, IG, Facebook, y'all.
Yep.
I love it. I love
Website
it.
in progress. Website coming.
Absolutely. You working on anything now? You got anything around you?
Nah, I didn't break it down. You know what? I was like, I'm working on some cleats right now. I got 2 more pair of cleats to do by Friday. So yeah, I'm working on some cleats right now. So I started to grab them, so I'm like, let me see if I can bring these down here. But I left them upstairs.
Oh, good. And you just had a raffle too.
Yeah, I did. So that's one of the cleats that I gotta get done. I did have a raffle. I had a winner. So she from my hometown, so she getting them done for her nephew. And she
Shout out to
always
nephew.
supporting. Yeah, she always supporting. She been supporting since day one, so I'm glad she won.
You went Georgia too. Yeah, we need to talk.
Yeah.
So you know a lot of football players at the high school level that actually might be good. I need to connect you with somebody.
Yeah, I work out of Gainesville High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You already know what I'm thinking, see?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Smart. I was trying to catch the location when she was dropping all these names of cities. I was like, that don't sound like Florida.
Nah. Not
she right
Gainesville, Florida, yeah.
Yeah, she right in Georgia. Yeah, so listen, Lo, what message do you want to send to that athlete, the leader, the business owner who may be thinking about giving up?
To all the former athletes and the current athletes, your sport don't define you. It's life outside of your sport. It's gonna be hard to navigate, but make sure you know how you have right people in your corner to help you navigate that, get through that tough time. Leaders, keep leading, keep having that initiative to be the change and guide other people to be the change. And entrepreneurs, just keep working hard. People not gonna see the vision like you. So as long as you believe in yourself and trust in yourself, then it's all you really need. And talking to God, hand it over to Him. He'll take care of the rest.
Amen.
Believe in you. I think we all take that, but that's a mic drop
Bet on
moment.
yourself. Yeah, bet on yourself every time.
I done heard that enough to know that's confirmation. Sometimes you got to bet on you. So we thank you Thank you so much, Lo, for coming and sitting down with us. Thank you for blessing us with your story, your drive, your resilience. And the listeners, I know they got something. I hope y'all was writing it down. But this has been another episode of the Mental Locker Room. I, again, am your boy, Dr. C. And I'm going to let my wonderful co-host throw her the assist.
Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. It's Tish Johnson. Remember, if you guys have any schools or athletes that we want to do any workshops with, or you need some one-on-one coaching, you can always visit my website at tishjohnson.com, book a consultation, or book me to speak.
All right. And then once you've done that, I'm going to ask you again, hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. Make sure that you're hitting all the buttons. You can follow us on IG at the Mental Locker Room Podcast. And as I tend to do every week, if you do nothing else this week, be good people. We'll see y'all next time.
Hey, C, God told me to start this podcast, and then he told me to call you. The time is now. You ready?
I got you, T. Let's do it.